Disclaimer, this review references a lot of things from review number 11. You should totally go back and watch it, right now. I'm going to skim over a few things as this is basically the same video. Last chance. Okay, moving on. Wait a minute. Something seems a little off. Hold on a second. There we go. The backdrop's back, baby! MMC's Solus Prime is by far my favourite Transformer due to the fact that it nails almost everything it sets out to do. So, what do you get when you take the base mold and give it Predaking's colour scheme and add a new head that's designed from Venkster from Renderform? You get an overpriced convention exclusive that comes with another boring black repaint. Fortunately, I bypassed both of those issues by splitting the set with a guy on TFW, and I only paid retail price for it. No inflation, thank you very much. Yes, the moment I saw this repaint, I had to have it. It just looks so awesome in all the promo shots. You can bet I jumped on the chance to purchase one of them, and the question is, was it worth it? Well, it wouldn't be fun if I told you right away, would it? So, I'm starting off with the vehicle mode this time, as I've already gone over the specifics of the transformation in my previous review. Of course, I've already removed the shoulder add-on pieces so as to give access to the traditional alt mode rather than that horrible thing. This is our first glimpse into the running theme of comparison between the two versions of this mold that I own. You win some, you lose some. On the plus side, the colours are utterly fantastic. They're way more vibrant than the Solus Prime variant, and the black on the front really gives her the look of a vehicle that means business. The way the red windshield is painted this time actually makes it look more like a cockpit than an empty blue mass that Salvia Promenon had, but you really don't notice it until you put the figures side by side. Whilst there's far less transparent plastic, and on this one it's transparent as opposed to the translucent plastic on Solus, I really don't mind. And for what little of it there is, I much prefer the piercing red over the pearly blue. Unfortunately, this mode does get matched with some downsides. The elephant in the room would have to be the colour placement. For starters, this huge orange block at the back here is just so boring. You take a look at the other one and you can see it's more broken up. Now, I'm not sure, but this may have been remedied with the addition of black guns instead of silver. See, when I got this, the seller accidentally sent me Neuro Queen's guns instead of Feral Queen's. I'm not disappointed in any way, but it might have helped the vehicle mode. Still, this little addition gives the figure a bit of extra character, so it's all good. What's not so good is the hollow back section. Since there's no hammer accessory with this, you can't really fill it in, and you're left with some guns barely pretending to be thrusters. The swords don't really properly close either. Since they're painted over what I assume is solid plastic, they are more durable, but you can no longer peg them in properly. Although it's an okay trade-off considering what happened after a shelf dive a few months ago. Although while we're on paint, I really wish there was some more gold on this thing. Especially in the middle section, there's just not enough. Also, for some bizarre reason, the car seems to tilt upwards when being displayed. This must be the work of an enemy stando! Actually, it's not. I checked by swapping the stands around and it's exactly the same. Finally, the new weapon that she comes with doesn't store in vehicle mode. I can't exactly see how they would do it without it looking stupid, but it's a bummer that they didn't even add a new peg hole or anything. I mean, these 8 holes could have been cut down to just 2 and it would have been fine if they made them a bit bigger. For a size comparison, once again, this alt mode is tiny. It's even smaller than a modern deluxe, which is astonishing when you see the robot mode. The transformation is at least 0% less divisive. Well, maybe it's 10% less. You see, as time has gone by, Salvia Promenon has had issues with the joints, getting to the point where I'm actually afraid to transform the damn thing for fear of losing the back flaps. Now, this isn't a widespread issue, and I personally believe I got a factory reject. This is because it was dirt cheap from a website actually known for screwing over its customers. I don't feel any of that with Feral Queen though. The plastic is far more robust, and the joints are way smoother. Okay, you know what? It's at least 30% better. Even without the QC issues online, it's definitely 30%. So, robot mode? Are you in awe yet? Once again, we have some winning and some losing factors. But this time we'll start off with the cons. Some of the plastic looks cheap, particularly the thighs and the red and yellow on the forearms. It doesn't feel cheap, and from a reasonable distance you won't notice it at all. Hell, I doubt you'll notice it after looking at it for a while. And that's it for the cons. What? Did you think I was going to match every pro for a con? For starters, the colours are fantastic. Taking Predaking's colour scheme up to 11 with healthy doses of black just works so well for the figure. Secondly, the plastic may look bad, but it feels so much more solid than Solus Prime. It may not have the matte finish in all the areas, but it feels safer. Thirdly, posing's a lot easier. I'm not going to go through the articulation because I've already done that, but it's a good thing given the overall feel of the figure. You see, for someone like Solus Prime, you'd think she'd be more reserved poses, but in this design, I'd imagine some high-octane action animated by Studio Ufotable on their unlimited budget works. No matter how you display her, she just oozes energy and confidence. It's not often a toy can present the character in a design alone. Also, did I mention the head's done by Venkster? You know, the Renderform guy? The guy that made some of the best head sculpts you can add to a Transformer, and doing it all by himself? The painted eyes don't pop as much as I'd like, but they aren't bad after a while. As for the new accessory, at first it seems like a simple staff. By itself it's actually pretty neat, and the red and gold pop really well, and it fits in with the character of the figure, and it's even the perfect length to reach the ground. However, that's not all. You can actually plug the swords and have a sharp thing like this. I gotta say, I like it. However, at the end of the day, I still prefer the dual pistols. They just seem to fit the mold better. That's no problem though, as the extra weapon is easily ignored. We all know the size of it, but because shooting it takes no effort whatsoever, here's a size comparison. So at the end, it's pretty obvious who's better. I can't go beyond 5 out of 5, but I can tell you to pick this up if you can. Or at least I could if the price tag wasn't so unreasonable. I got it at a steal when it first came out, but since then it's very hard to find a good price nowadays. So, do I recommend it? At the moment, no. I'd say not this specific one. Unless someone offers it for about 60 or 70 US, then don't bother. That said, I'm really happy with how this turned out. Don't be surprised if it steals the top spot of my TF16 of 2016 list. Disclaimer, this review references a lot of things from review number 11. You should totally go back and watch it.